Here are 7 lessons that I've learned in my life that I think will guide you really beautifully this year. Number 1, don't take anything personally. I think so often we add stories and meaning to events that only exists in our mind. And as you move through life, the key thing is to not add unnecessary meaning to events, to people, to circumstances. Just take it as it is and move on. Don't take anything personally. Whatever someone did, said, or didn't do, or didn't say is more about them and their life and where they're at than anything to do with you. You don't have all the details of someone's life, of someone's inner world. Think about how many times someone has misunderstood you and your intentions. And so the key is to apply that rule to other people as well. When you feel like taking something personally, remind yourself that you don't have the full story. And you don't need to know the full story. You just need to focus on your own lane, focus on your own race. Don't take anything personally, and don't get swept up in the drama. Number 2, when you don't know what to do nothing. I learned this one from Oprah. She talks a lot about this in her speeches. It's a fabulous lesson. When you don't know what decision to make, and there's stress, there is pressure, remind yourself you don't have to do anything in this moment. You can actually choose to do nothing. Stay neutral. Say nothing, do nothing, wait for the sign to appear, and you'll know what to do. Sometimes all it takes is a few days, and the problem resolves itself. So as long as you don't muddy the waters, someone throws a pebble in a lake, creates all these ripples. If you just wait, the lake will get still again. But if you start splashing about, if you start panicking, if you start stressing, you're actually creating more ripples that you'll then have to deal with later on. So when you're facing a tricky situation and you don't know what to do, just stay still. Do nothing. Ask for inspiration, pray for the answers, but don't take any action until you're absolutely sure in your gut that what you're doing is the right decision. Number 3, when you do know what to do, act immediately. When the inspiration comes, when you know exactly what needs to be done, take action immediately. Sometimes we put off things until later because we feel like we'll be able to recapture the magic of that inspiration. But inspiration is fleeting. Clarity is fleeting. True clarity, when it comes, that's the moment. That's the moment to start the business, start writing the book, start the project, start the YouTube channel, whatever it is that is on your mind. When you have the courage and the clarity to pursue it, start immediately. Inspiration likes to come at certain moments when we're in our pajamas. And there is a temptation to say, wait a second, I need to go put on my nice clothes. I'm not ready. The key is to take action even in your pajamas. Even when you feel like you're nervous and you're not ready, but you have the clarity, you know exactly what needs to be done. For God's sake, go and do it. Number 4, don't burn bridges, but set your boundaries and stick to them. Boundaries are tricky if you have a tendency to people please, but it's essential. It's essential that you have certain boundaries in place. I don't think it's ever worth it to burn bridges. That being said, not everyone has to be a part of your life, and you've got to set the boundaries for who you allow into your inner circle, what kind of energies you allow into your life. Life will test you in those boundaries. And people will test your boundaries as well. I think this is completely normal. If you draw a line in the sand, some people are going to step over it. The key is to stick to your guns. You make the decision from a place of clarity. This is what I want. This is the kind of people I want in my life. This is how I want to be treated. And then you stick to it. When those tests come up, life wants to see, will you fold? Will you stick to the boundaries and the standards that you've decided are important to you? Or are you going to people please at the earliest opportunity? I think this is a big one for many people, and it's essential to master. Understand your boundaries, understand what you want, what you don't want, and then draw the line in the sand and stick to it. Number 5, raise your standards in every area of life. Look at your environment, look at your social circle, look at the work you're doing. Ask yourself, is this really the best that I can do? Is this the highest ideal that I can reach? And oftentimes you'll find out, well, actually, I could raise my standards in this area. No one is going to come into your life and raise your standards for you. This is a solo project. You set the standard for your life. And where you decide that standard is how life and other people will treat you. So if you want more out of life, whether it's in the area of money, in the area of relationships, in the area of aligned friendships, in the area of business, decide what you want, set your standards high, and then know that that is your North Star. That is what you're trying to reach every day. And whenever you fall short of that, there should be this conscious awareness that this is not me, that the real you is the ideal standard, and you're just catching up to that. Number 6, always do the right thing. Always stay in integrity. See, it doesn't matter if no one else knows. You know. You know if you're being honest. You know if you're in integrity. And you carry that every moment of your life. When you stay in integrity, when you always do the right thing, which means you never do the thing where you feel that uneasiness. You never do the thing where you feel a little bit of shame, a little bit of guilt. That's the sign. Okay, so the moment you feel that, you know you're off track. Always do the right thing. And I gotta tell you, life becomes so much easier, so much smoother when you can go to bed at night knowing that every single thing you did today was done in integrity. It doesn't mean you haven't made mistakes, but if they're mistakes, they're honest mistakes. They're mistakes of ignorance, not mistakes of duplicity. When you can go to sleep at night knowing that you have done your absolute best, your conscience is clear, everything in your life flows better. The more you can align yourself with truth, the better your life will be. Number 7, know what you want, go after it, and keep going. I think for many people, the biggest problem is they don't know exactly what they want. So take some time to really figure that out. Be specific. Think of it like the universal restaurant. You don't go to a restaurant and say, give me food. The waiter would look at you funny. You choose a specific meal and then you order and you know it will come. And life is the same way. You don't go to life and say, give me money, make me happy, bring me love. You choose a specific goal, something specific that you can work towards every day, and then you keep after it. You keep going. You do not stop. And when you fall down, you pick yourself up and you keep going. Have the clear vision of where you're going. Like a lighthouse at the end of the ocean, you're the ship. You're sailing towards this lighthouse. And no matter how many storms you encounter, you know exactly where you're going. You have your true north. This alone will make or break your year. If you know where you're going, this will make all the difference. Number 8, bonus lesson. Have a dedicated spiritual practice in your life, whether it's praying every morning for 5 minutes, or doing breath work for 10 minutes, or meditating for 20 minutes, or doing a psychedelic trip. Have some sort of practice in your life that connects you to God, connects you to spirit, connects you to your heart, and retunes you to truth, to love, to God. This is so important because without that connection to spirit, to something divine, to something greater than yourself, it's easy to lose sight of the light when you're in the dark moments. But if you have that spiritual practice, you are nurturing that connection. You are nurturing that relationship with God. The difference that it will make in your life is intangible. It's not something that you can put on your balance sheet, but it's something that you feel in your heart every day. So I hope this helped you. Let me know what your lesson for this year is. What are your guiding principles for this year? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.